will be on hand to answer your questions. EVIT Expo, your future, your way.
Broadcasting from the Radio Phoenix studios in downtown Phoenix, you're listening to KRDP, where the Valley comes to talk, sing, connect. KRDP, Apache Junction, Goldfield Ghost Town, Phoenix, 90.7 FM in the East Valley, and worldwide at KRDP.com, a service of Desert Soul Media. Views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Desert Soul Media and its board of directors. Thank you for listening.
Sources close to ESPN are saying that Maverick Carter is advising a $5 billion effort to start a new international basketball league. When Maverick's name comes up, LeBron's name is typically attached to it. Let's keep our eyes open about that. Notre Dame versus the Ohio State University. A new national champion will be crowned over the weekend. Deion Sanders possibly going to Dallas to coach the Cowboys. Is this a good or a bad thing? We will get into that. The NFL playoffs are in full effect. There were some good games and there were some blowouts. We're going to talk about that as well. The NBA trade deadline is quickly approaching. Where will Jimmy Butler go? Where will Kevin Durant go? Very interesting. There was some fake news out there about Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford. And I fell for it. However, I fell for it because I want to see it so badly. That and much more.
Howdy friends, this is Randy Taylor, Cherokee Cowboy, with today's segment of Word with a Champ for Native Voice One.
This is Word with a Champ. Here's Cherokee Cowboy, Randy Taylor.
Cole Patterson, the world champion steer roper in the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. Tell us your story.
Yes, sir. I grew up in rodeo my whole life. My dad trip steers my whole entire life growing up, and so I've never really known anything other than this.
You know, that takes amazing horsepower. Let's talk about your horsepower and what you look for when you're purchasing, raising, and training them.
First of all, you got to have a big, strong, athletic horse, and then to go with that, they also have to have a good mind to be able to do our event. And so, I mean, you're looking for a needle in a haystack as far as a good horse that you can go win on. And I've been blessed with several pretty good ones right here early off in my career, and so, you know, just keep looking and keep trying to find the next one because they don't make them every day.
You know, single steer roping to me goes back to the very traditional art of being a cowboy. Would you explain to our listeners what it is for those that have never seen it?
Yeah, so steer roping is just back in the old days when rodeo was getting started, you know, the first thing they did was break wild horses, and that's where saddle bronc riding comes from. And then the next thing that they had to do after they broke the horses was they used them to doctor cattle outside. And whenever you're by yourself and you got a big animal, you need to lay down on the side and tie the feet. I mean, that's where steer roping comes from, is the second event ever, you know, in rodeo. And so it's awesome that the PRCA keeps the steer roping right up there with the rest of the events as far as priority.
Well, traditionally, you're out in the middle of nowhere by yourself with a horse, and so you really depend on that horse, and it's not real safe.
No, if you don't know what you're doing and you don't have a good horse, you know, it can be pretty dangerous, but to me, it's pretty amazing what a good horse and a good cowboy can get done by themselves. And like you said, it's a team deal. It's just like having another good guy out there with you if you have a good horse. So that's a real advantage.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about your season leading up to the World Championship.
Yeah, I mean, it was just another season out there. In the regular season, there's so many highs and so many lows. You know, one week you can be top of the world, the next weekend you feel like you can't win anything. And so you just got to be able to ride the roller coaster and kind of stay in the middle and try not to get too high on the highs and too low on the lows. And because you're only one good run away from getting out of that slump that you're in, or you're only one bad run away from getting in a slump. So if you can just kind of keep it steady and keep the train moving all season long, it seems to work out better.
Yes, sir. Well, then let's talk about the Wrangler National Finals rodeo steer roping. 10 rounds up against the top 15 guys in the world. Had to be a little bit hot.
Yeah, you know, the money's getting so good nowadays, like here in Vegas and in Mulvane at our deal, the money's good enough now, like you can set yourself up with a regular season, but you also are going to have to rope good when you get to the finals. And, you know, I think all these other events would agree with that. If you don't have a good NFR, you can't be the world champion. I don't think nowadays. And back in the old days, the regular season, you could win a world championship in the regular season, but nowadays you got to have a good final. So there's a lot of pressure on 10 rounds.
Who are some of your mentors, and what other goals have you set for yourself?
I've been lucky enough to grow up in the steer roping industry, and the Trevor Brazils, the Guy Allens, the Rocky Pattersons, the Scott Snedekers, the guys that dominated my whole life. Those guys have all been an open book for me to kind of reach out to if I have any questions or any struggles. I can get a hold of those guys and try to get a little advice to try to get things back on course.
One more question. Let's recruit some young men to participate in single steer roping.
Yeah, this when I first started 5 years ago, I think the steer roping was kind of an older guy's game, and the money's just growing so fast nowadays. You see it at the finals. You see the age of the guys getting younger and younger and younger, and it's going really fast. And it used to be you could win with just pure horsemanship and talent with a rope, and now you kind of got to have some athleticism too to be fast enough to beat those guys.
That's words of our champion, Cole Patterson from Pawnee, Oklahoma, Indian country.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Word of the Champ is funded by the Fort Bears Casino and Lodge, located near the beautiful Lake Sakakawea in Newtown, North Dakota, owned and operated by the Mandan Hidatsa Innovative Family.
And we're back. Keep 1 Million Show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
It is the 16th of January, 2025. We are in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
Indeed.
And the Commanders are going against the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles are going against the Rams.
Yeah.
In a surprising win over Minnesota. I mean, how surprised were you with that win?
Oh man, I didn't think Minnesota was going to get blown out. I believe I had Minnesota winning that game, but I didn't believe it was going to get. I didn't see that. I didn't see the blowout coming. Matter of fact, when I heard the score, I thought it was 3 field goals, but they actually. When I went back and watched the game, the replay of the game, I was like, oh, they just didn't get the 2-point conversion. Not that it would have mattered. It's almost like Sam Darnold regressed. He just couldn't throw guys open. It just wasn't a good game. I mean, he they set a record for most yards lost by a quarterback in the game. I mean, I think it was like 85 yards by sacks. 85 or 87 yards, something like that. That's a lot of yards. It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, 27-9. I think Darnold got sacked 6 times in the first quarter.
Yeah.
The Rams' front 7 looks nasty. Their defense looks championship defense. You still have Matt Stafford, slinging them with Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't think anyone's seen this coming. I know you could say it was an issue with the move from LA to Cardinal Stadium because of the fires, but both teams had to do it. Both teams had to relocate.
Yeah.
Both teams, had to go through the rigmarole of that. But if you look back, the Rams did beat Minnesota before, earlier in the season.
Oh, okay.
And then, if you really look at Minnesota's season, they haven't won against top teams, Lions, Rams. I mean, yeah, they're 14 wins. This is, I think, the only 14-win team to get beat this badly. And Sam Darnold's a free agent. So the thing is, what team he's going to go to. He's going to stay. Everyone's saying he lost money because these last 2 games. They did. Lost the game against Detroit for the #1 seed, and then now lose in the playoffs in the opening round. their problem most likely is them not getting a home playoff game, but at the same time, they may lose Sam Darnold. I don't know what other quarterback could come in there because J.J. McCarthy, hopefully he's healthy coming up
Yeah.
next season,
Mm-hmm.
and they start him, but you're going to need another veteran quarterback because I'm not sure if he's any good.
Yeah, prayers up to J.J. McCarthy can come back healthy and everything. Sam Darnold's a free agent. He's going to want money. He's going to want the money. And one thing you don't want to have is an extremely expensive backup. And he deserves. I mean, I know the last 2 games were bad, but he had a really good season. He's going to get comeback player of the year. And I want to say he had a pro. Did he make Pro Bowl? Yeah, Pro Bowl season.
I'm not sure. I have to double check. I
well,
look at the Pro Bowl.
I know he had a really good season. So he will get looks. I mean, think about it. Look at all the teams that need a starting quarterback. But the thing with Sam Darnold is he has to be set up for success.
Mhm.
I mean, look, Minnesota had a good team. I believe J.J. McCarthy. I'm not saying they would have won 14 games, but I believe he could have got them to the playoffs with that team. I mean, they got a really good team. So,
Right.
and that's what Darnold would need. He can't go to the Titans or something like that. He can't go to a team that's bad and trying to rebuild.
Right. The thing is, when I was watching the game, thinking about if he stays, and I'm looking at how upset these players are, do you think Justin Jeffrey stays or stays his full contract in Minnesota?
If they got good quarterback play, because they got a good team. They get good quarterback play. I don't see why he would leave. I mean,
Because it looked like, that game he didn't get targeted much. It looked, I mean, the Rams defense, they did the job. But on the Minnesota side, it seemed like Justin Jefferson was getting more frustrated. And rightfully so. The thing is, what quarterback are you going to get in there to get Justin Jefferson the ball in these key situations? You got the Lions game going up against the best, one of the best teams in the league. Minnesota trying to be one of the best teams in the league. You lose, and then you lose this game to the Rams.
mm-hmm.
Which I would say, Minnesota on paper had the advantage, but no one expected the Rams defense to do what they did.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't expect that. Didn't expect to blow out like that.
And then on the Commanders beating the Bucks 23-20, I thought that was a big upset. I wouldn't expect, the rookie to come in there, play the way he did to get them in the position to win, which he did.
Yeah.
It seemed like the Bucks had everything going for them, winning the division. Baker Mayfield coming into his own as far as being the Buccaneers, leader of that team, and finally being accepted, not bouncing around from team to team anymore. He's going to get a nice contract, but the Commanders, that Sweet Six, Cinderella team.
It looks.
Could they be?
I mean, it looks like it. Jane Daniels is man. People saying that Chicago should have took Jane Daniels instead of Caleb. But I'm not. Excuse me. I'm not gonna give up on Caleb just yet. I want to see with a new coach and everything. I want to see what he can do. But Washington, and they're looking really dangerous. And Detroit has a good defense. So we will see how this unfolds. But Baker Mayfield, he's really coming to his own. He had a bad turnover late in that game. He had a bad turnover, and I believe Jay Daniels. I believe he threw did he throw a touchdown on 4th down. Was it that? If I can remember correctly, I just know he had a heck of a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, a heck of a game. And and Mike Evans. Big ups to Mike Evans, man. This is his 11th year consecutive 1,000 yards reception, receiving. Excuse me, receiving yards. That's amazing. That's amazing. Had discussions with people. Is he a Hall of Famer? And some people said no, not yet, because but I don't know.
I think he is.
He
has a ring.
He has a ring. I think he
He
might
has the numbers.
Hall of Famer, especially if he can stay away from them hamstring injuries. If he strings together two more 1,000-yard receiving years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's a shoe-in.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels in that game, 24 for 35, 268 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and 13 carries for 36 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna get that Rookie of the Year.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he got that sold up.
What's
I mean,
crazy
Bo Nix had a good charge, but
Yeah.
Jaden got that wrapped up.
What's crazy is he has the same stats as Lamar Jackson's last MVP season. So they have a quarterback for the next 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
The Commanders.
Stay healthy.
Yeah. We go with talked about Bo Nix. They lost 31-7 to the Bills.
Yeah, I didn't think that. I believe I had Buffalo in that game, and I said that 9.5 point underdog. I just didn't think they would get blown out like that.
Mm-hmm.
That was my thing. I don't think they're not gonna get blown out like that.
They'll lose, but not so bad. But
Yeah,
they did, yeah.
I was wrong. I was wrong about that in the Chargers. I thought Chargers were gonna win. They got shellacked. I mean, Justin Herbert had a horrible game. Man.
Yes, that is true. 4 interceptions, 32-12 to the Texans.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, it looked like the Chargers were gonna, slowly but surely win this game. But the Chargers are the Chargers, and they're gonna do Charger things, and that is give up a lead late and throw interceptions. Justin Herbert needs more talent around him. Some players did leave last season, and now he has a new group of guys. I think he needs more, better talent around him. Offensive line, tight end, running back,
No, they had good running backs. I mean, it's just old boy got hurt. J.K. Dobbins got hurt towards the end. Then Gus Edwards got hurt. J.K. Dobbins came in. But I will say they have good running backs, but J.K. Dobbins is injury prone. I mean, it's like he can be sketchy at times with the injuries.
Yeah. I would say really they would need at least some good wide receivers.
Yeah.
But it's the Chargers. It's like they're cursed. This happens all the time with the Chargers. So hopefully Harbaugh can, turn that team around, which it looks like he kind of has.
Yeah.
Give him a couple more seasons.
He got to the playoffs.
Yeah, the Texans are here to stay.
Yeah.
This is where the Commanders should be at this time next season. Where the Texans are right now, the Commanders most likely can be there, going up against the Eagles for that NFC East title. But the Texans right now, they own the AFC South. They're going to be there for a while. We know the Ravens beat the Steelers 28-14. The Ravens look like a juggernaut right now.
Yeah.
With King Henry running all over 40-yard, 50-yard runs.
Yeah.
They really look like that Bills Ravens matchup. The winner of that should represent the AFC in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you say should, but man, you can't ever bet against Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes. And you have to go to Kansas City. You have to go to Kansas City to play. Well, which wouldn't be a problem for Buffalo. Buffalo plays in bad weather all the time.
Buffalo beat them this season.
Yeah, they did, but that's the regular season. You know how it goes
Yeah.
the postseason.
Ravens are looking for revenge. The AFC Championship game. Now they'll have to go to Kansas City. Kansas City wins.
And that game, that Baltimore Pittsburgh game, that Lamar Jackson scored 2 touchdowns and Derrick Henry scored 2 touchdowns. Those were 4 rushing touchdowns. That means you got manhandled.
Right.
That means you got just beat up. We're just all we're gonna do. Literally, all we're gonna do is run the ball. We're just gonna run, and you can't. It just that. I don't remember a Pittsburgh defense being ran on like that ever. Like, and they talking about Mike Tomlin.
That I knew that would never happen. That was just a sports media. Just sports media fodder. Someone coming up with a cockamamie scheme. Oh, what if someone trades for Mike Tomlin? No, that's never going to happen.
Mm-mm.
Do you know how many coaches have been in the Steelers organization in the past 50 years?
3.
Exactly. So why would they do something dumb? Desperate teams do things like trade their coach for draft picks. Like the Saints, right? Desperate teams do that. Not a team that's always go to the playoffs for the past 25 seasons, 6 Super Bowls.
No,
that makes no sense.
Tomlin's not going anywhere. People are saying that maybe they tired of hearing Tomlin's voice or whatever. I was like, nah. Like the way Pittsburgh does things, and I respect it. Like Chuck Noll, then Kyle, all their coaches retired. Chuck Noll retired, Kyle retired, and I believe Tomlin's going to he will retire from that job because he's not a bad coach.
No.
They just need. Honestly, I believe they need to move on from Russell Wilson and just play Justin Fields.
That most likely he should. I think he's going to be a free agent as well. The thing about the Steelers and the Steelers fans is they're like a college football team. They're so spoiled when it comes to championships and whatnot that as soon as you get to a mediocre season, fire the coach, like we see with Ohio State, right? So that's the case, but we're going to come right back. We're going to go to break. We're going to come right back. We're going to give you our picks. Who goes to the NFC and the AFC championship games. So keep it locked right here. It's the Keep One Million Show.
Yes, sir.
BP is by becoming a volunteer.
Yeah, I remember.
BP is looking for
I remember
volunteers.
a little bit ago.
Engineering, promotions,
When I was in the Air
and
Force, I
community
talked to this one
outreach.
Patriots fan, this one female, she was a Patriots fan,
Or sign up to
and she
become
said
a KRDP
she
volunteer.
hated Steeler
Call
fans because they always talk about they got 6 Super Bowls, 6 Super Bowls. She was like, but she was like, you wasn't even alive for those first Super Bowl, first 4 Super Bowls.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like I was alive for our Super Bowls. You wasn't even alive. You talking about you was born in '82.
The East Valley is
And like, they won the Super Bowls today.
your way.
So I thought that was funny. I mean, I didn't agree with it though. I believe if you're a Steelers fan, you celebrate your chips.
Celebrate all.
Yeah, like Giants fans celebrate your chips. Yeah. We do all that. I still celebrate that Eagles Super Bowl. Come on now. Like, but I just thought it was funny.
January. Learn more and start your application at evit.edu. Evit, your future, your way.
It's Keep 1 Million Show, 90.7 FM. And we're talking NFL playoffs.
Yes, sir.
We're talking NFL playoffs as the divisional round games are this weekend. Commanders and Lions. This one, I don't know. You don't like this line? Detroit is a 9.5 point favorite.
No, I don't like that line. They're not gonna blow them dudes out like that. Now, I was wrong about
You
Denver.
was wrong, yeah, you were.
I was wrong about Denver, but I just don't think they're gonna blow. I believe I believe Detroit's going to win, but I don't believe they're gonna blow them out like that. That now, what I will say, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened because Detroit does have a good defense, and then they have to figure out how to contain Jaden Daniels, how to just keep him, because once he starts running around and doing how you run around and extending plays, that's when he's the most dangerous, just like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Just dangerous.
Yeah, I got the Lions as well, but possibly by 7, not by 9.5. You know, it's basically saying it's a 10-point, a 10-point game.
Yeah.
I would say 7. The Eagles, Rams. Eagles are at home, 6.5-point favorite.
Well, I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I believe it's gonna be a close game though. I don't believe they're gonna. I don't believe even if the Eagles lose, I don't believe it's gonna be a blowout. I do believe this. I do believe Jalen Hurts is going to have a good game. He's going to have a good game.
Okay.
I'm like a 2-touchdown game. I believe Saquon is going to do his thing as well, and I believe that AJ Brown is going to have a good game because he was on the sideline reading a book. So they're going to figure it out because wide receivers like you was talking about Justin Jefferson. These guys, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown, C.D. Lamb, they always believe they're open.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
so they're never like, I'm not open, just give me the ball. Now what I will say is Philly has that good 1-2 punch because Devontae Adams had a good game. So that 1-2 punch and that Goddard touchdown. I don't know if you saw it. He just bullied that guy to the end zone. So I believe it's going to be a well-balanced game. I just believe Jalen Hurts is going to have a better game than he just had.
I'm going to go with the Eagles, but there's a lot of Rams fans saying that the Rams can do it. And the Rams can beat the Eagles with that defense.
It's not impossible.
I just think they just may keep the ball in their hands, time of possession, run the ball, push. Defense stops them, and it'll be a close game, but I see the Eagles winning.
You also have to remember, we're not the Vikings. Our offensive line is physical. Like we have one of the best offensive lines in the game. We have one of the best defensive lines in the game. You're not going to bully either line. So it's not you're not playing the Vikings and you're not playing Sam Darnold.
Right.
So it's going to be a different game.
The AFC Chiefs at home against the Texans. Chiefs 8-point favorites.
Kansas City.
You got to go with Kansas City here. It's outdoors. It's cold. Houston plays in the dome. They're going up north per se. I could see Chiefs blowing them out. I could see this be a 10-point win.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that too. I can see. I can just see the weather being an issue for them, and with that Mahomes magic, that Mahomes magic, man. But Kansas City winning that game.
I don't really think Kansas City wants to prove everybody that they're, the switch is on. All these games where they won by 1 point, 2 point, 3 points, everyone's saying, they're cheating or the refs are, they hear all that. And so I think they want to make an example like, no, this is the Chiefs, the 2-time defending champion Chiefs. And they're going to make a statement. But I'll say the game of the playoffs is the Bills at home versus the Ravens, with Baltimore being a 1-point favorite in Buffalo.
Believe it or not, I'm an Eagles fan, but this is the game.
Yes, this is the game.
I'm
like I said,
for that game.
This game, I think, determines who goes to the Super Bowl for the AFC.
And I believe this game, even though they say that it's already being voted on, maybe, this game probably going to choose the MVP. I mean, like,
Oh yeah.
Because
I mean, they said the MVP is the regular season,
yeah.
but you still. I'm not sure when the voters, put in their votes in or what days they do that. But yeah, if they haven't put their votes in,
If they have not put their votes in yet, and I don't
this
know
is
if they
gonna be the
did,
game. Yeah,
but
to
they
decide
have
that.
this game could decide that because, I mean, honestly, the only way Saquon was going to get it is if he broke that record.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's the only way he
should
was going to
have.
get it.
You should have went for it.
That was all Jeffrey Lurie. That was some
Mhm.
stuff. I don't want to get into that. I believe he should have went for it as well. But what messed them up was that Washington lost.
Yeah.
If they would have beat Washington, then they would have been playing for the number 1 seed, and they would have played Saquon. Blah blah blah. But this right here, it comes out and look, to me this ain't great because if Josh Allen get it, I'm like okay,
Yeah.
like, he had a heck of a year. If he get it, if Lamar get it, okay.
Well,
You
who
know.
you got in this? Ravens, Bills.
Whew. What's the weather like in Baltimore, man? I mean, in Buffalo.
Buffalo.
What's the weather gonna be like?
Hold on. I know it's gonna be cold.
No.
but that
Is it
doesn't
gonna be
matter.
snow? Is it gonna be snowing? Get like cold because it get cold in Baltimore.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. Even snow. It snows in Baltimore.
Yeah, no,
too.
but it don't snow like it snow in Buffalo.
I feel you. That wind and all of that.
Like, if you can't find it right now,
Wait, hold on. I got it. It's going to be 20 degrees.
20 degrees.
Doesn't say anything about snow.
Okay. What time? What time is the game? Is it during the day or at night?
It's in the day.
All right. I'll take Baltimore.
24 degrees. Snow. Wait, an inch
Oh.
or two.
Oh,
That's all it says.
an inch or two.
All 7 a.m. to 5 a.m. Snow flurries. Gonna feel like 14 degrees. Wind at 10 miles an hour. Wind gust at 27 miles an hour.
You know what? I'm gonna take Buffalo.
Oh, now you're gonna switch it up?
No, because of weather. Yeah, I'm gonna take Buffalo.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay. 4:30 p.m. Eastern, which is what 2:30 Arizona time.
Yeah, 2:30. Yeah.
I gotta go with Baltimore.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, that running game, man. Now, if you're throwing the ball 40 to 50 times, you're gonna have an issue with that wind. Because
You
the
know
thing
what?
is, in the Buffalo, they have those twisting winds coming in that stadium, and then you always see a kicker missing all some weird, he's kicking straight down the middle all morning before the game, and then he's hitting it wide left, wide right when the winds come. But if you're gonna run the ball effectively, and possibly throw the ball on third down, I want to say be really conservative, but it's gonna be like a mixture, not so many down the field plays with Baltimore. Smash mouth playoff football. This has to be, and I see them winning close, but winning. Because I think Josh Allen is going to try to play hero ball at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, every time that happens in the red zone, throws a pick. Now, you don't have Stephon Diggs there anymore, so he's not focused on Stephon Diggs. But it's really on him. Is he going to stay with the script? Or is he going to, do Josh Allen things? Right? I see that happening. I see they're down, down some points. Fourth quarter, they have the ball to win the game, and he does some bonehead play. This has been they've been here 4 years in a row, and they lost 4 years in a row. They haven't been to the championship game yet, but Baltimore has. So when you look at that, obviously experience. They both have relatively the same amount of experience in the playoffs, but Baltimore has won more in this recent time. The past 5 years, they've been, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, who's light years ahead of them, but at the same time, in this AFC, when you got to go through all these cold weather games, running the ball and really stout defense wins it. So I'm going to pick Baltimore.
No.
Moving on, staying in the NFL though, the Cowboys, like always, when they're not in the playoffs, they're still in the news. Jerry Jones talking to Deion Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Warder, Cowboy journalist, used to be on ESPN. He's talked about how if Jerry Jones has an offer for Deion, he may sign it. I just seen a tweet of someone saying that they looked at the inside of the Colorado Buffaloes, and they're saying that Deion said he's not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen this from so many coaches year in and year out from college.
Mm-hmm.
1 minute they say they're staying, next thing they're on the next flight smoking.
Yep.
And we'll see him the next day signing the contract with the other colors. So it's tricky. I would love to see him stay mainly because of two things. The Cowboys have no cap space.
Yeah.
They cannot trade Dak Prescott unless, they're going to go on a real cap hell.
Yeah.
Have to eat half of his money
Mm-hmm.
because no one's going to want that big contract.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the big fish in the small pond. Deion in Boulder. He runs Boulder right now.
Mm-hmm.
He has a 5-star quarterback. 5-star offensive linemen are coming in there. I mean, he one left, but he got another one. You got top defensive players coming in there. You built a great coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the issues with this talking with Jerry Jones is, is he going to bring his whole coaching staff with him that he,
Probably not.
handpicked? Warren Sapp came over there
Mhm.
because of him, and others, ex-NFL coaches are over there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then another thing, the money, the NIL, he could get anything he wants from Colorado, from the boosters, himself, promoting himself with all these endorsements he's gotten and all that. He's using that money to get players in and whatnot. So he has more access to funds. He has more access to top players in Colorado. What do you think's going to happen?
I don't know what's going to happen, but what I believe should happen is he should stay in Colorado because he's the captain. He's the captain of the shit in Colorado. All
Right.
things go through him. He has the players he's getting the players that he wants. He can structure his own coaching staff. Whereas a lot of times when these guys go to the pros, the GM structures their coaching staff for them. And I know he's really cool with Jerry, but Jerry's the show. Jerry's the guy out there. You know. I know Stephen A. Smith. He's saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, Prime is already a star. And Jerry knows that it could work." But I just believe he should just stay at Colorado because he was that close to the college football playoffs. I believe he can get there. If not next year, the year after that, because he's going to have a new quarterback. So the year after that,
right.
so I believe he can get there. And the way college football is shaping, the championships are not just going to be SEC now. I mean, because of how everything is going, the NIL stuff and everything, you're going to get champions from not just the SEC anymore. You're going to get champions from the Big Ten. You're going to get champions from other conferences. It's going to be more spread out. It's going to be more parity. And I believe that Coach Prime could be very successful at Boulder. And we know it's not about the money. He already got money. So
Right.
I believe he should stay. But then again, I'm not Coach Prime though. So.
Right, and anything could happen,
Yeah.
and it's very interesting because we talked about this months prior, like, oh, that's just talk, that'll never happen. Michael Irvin was trying to talk to Deion. He was on the It Is What It Is podcast with Cam Mace, and even with Deion there, they were trying to talk to him about the Cowboys, and obviously ex-Cowboy, great, and things of that nature. Knows Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones knows him. I think that was really a respectful courtesy call. People were saying it was a Rooney Rule thing that he used, that Jerry Jones used.
Could be.
Mainly because of, they're looking for a coach now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's maybe a clever thing there.
Yeah.
But then he goes grab somebody else, say, hey, look, I talked to Dion.
Mm-hmm.
You never know, but at the same time, this is Jerry Jones at his best. It's not off season. They're not in the playoffs. We're going to talk Cowboys all the time. I can't stand it, but we're going to talk Cowboys. This is what he does. I just think it's not going to happen. Deion's going to stay in Colorado. Just got to wait on the official statement from either party. But we're going to be right back. Keep it locked right here. It's the Keep 1 Million show.
Yes, sir.
KRDP is by becoming a volunteer. KRDP is looking for volunteers to assist with activities like fundraising, engineering, promotions, and community outreach. We need you. For more information or to sign up to become a KRDP volunteer, call 602-254-6636 or visit our website.
He definitely stay in the news.
KRDP.com and click on the volunteer.
Keep the Cowboys in the
on
news.
top of the menu.
Jerry
We look
Jones,
forward to
keep
seeing
in the
you
news.
Always.
at KRDP.
The East Valley Institute of Technology is the place to begin your future your way.
Be like,
Are
oh my
you
goodness.
career focused and looking
We're
for
not in the
hands-on
playoffs
training
while
to
we talking
get started?
about-
Do you need a
What's the next one
certification
we talking about?
to
Oh, you want to
upward
get
in
the
your
Canelo
job?
and-
Even
Oh,
offers
yeah,
career
Canelo
training,
and,
apprenticeships, and
Oh, we
associate
got to talk about trade
degrees.
deadline,
Prepare
NBA trade
students
deadline.
for the next step,
Okay.
whatever that may be.
I
Even
think
is now
Jimmy Butler and
enrolling
Kevin
adult
Durant, they
students for our
talk.
programs
Okay.
beginning
But definitely Canelo
January.
Hall Crawford.
Learn more and start
Alright.
your application at evit.edu. Evit, your future, your way.
We're back to Keep 1 Million show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean Pate.
90.7 FM KRDP. Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks everybody for watching. Instagram Live, the KRDP YouTube channel. And yeah, the NBA trade deadline is approaching. Now you said something about Kevin Durant. I don't think they know it's going to trade him. I don't think the Suns. No, I don't think.
No, I just saw it real quick. It was on ESPN. Rumors about him to the Rockets. I don't believe they're going to trade him, but it was on the website and I saw it. Definitely Jimmy Butler. I think they're talking Jimmy Butler to the Kings. Because that relationship with Pat Riley is souring. I mean, he was suspended. I think he's still suspended. He was suspended for like 7 games. So maybe he's watching Coco Gauff play tennis, something like that. So that dude, but Jimmy, man, is Jimmy tainted? Is he tainted goods? Because every place he's gone, every place he left there. He left with bad taste in people's mouths, man. Like Minnesota, Chicago, Philly. And Philly wanted him to come back. I keep telling people, Philly offered him the max deal. He said no, because he didn't want to play with Ben Simmons. So.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at ESPN.com, and they have all these scenarios. I mean, they have what's called the trade tracker or trade where you could put players in and kind of make your own trades or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's what they just did. But you got, they say Sacramento Kings get Jimmy Butler and Alex Burke for DeMar DeRozan and Tim Hardaway Jr., 2028 first-round draft pick. Maybe. The big one I'm looking at, they're talking about with KD, Kevin Durant, Bol, Monty Morris, and Damian Lee to the Houston Rockets for Dylan Brooks, Cam Whitmore, Jason Tate, Jeff Green, and Jock Landale, and a couple of first-round picks. I don't think so. If that happens, then that means the Suns are tanking. I mean, I gotta look to see where they're at in the standings, but if they do that, that means you're like, okay, we're not even gonna go for a top playoff spot, not even a play-in, right?
Well,
I don't see those players being,
That-
and then if that ever happened, do you think Booker would want to stay?
well, Booker will be there, Bill will be there. So the players you just mentioned, it would be. They wouldn't win a championship with that team. They have a better chance to win a championship with the team that they have right now. And that's tough because the West, I don't because OKC, I believe OKC is. Maybe they don't have a record, but I believe OKC is the best team in the West right now. So
They are. I'm looking at the standings. Guess who's number 2?
hold on, don't tell me.
Guess.
Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 3 is Memphis. So I could see the trade for Houston. Yeah, and Phoenix is out of the playoffs at 11th.
Now 3.
So-
Now Memphis at 3 surprises. That
Right.
surprises me. But they do got John Morant back. They got a good team.
So the thing is, I think whoever wrote this article on ESPN.com, they're basically saying it's a tank job for the Suns because if you're this bad with 3 All-Stars, 2 superstars, and KD an all-time great,
Hall of Famer.
you're gonna have to get rid of one of them. I mean, remember this is the conversation they talked about a couple years back with LeBron and AD.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get rid of LeBron? Who do you get rid of? And right now they're in the 6th seed. The Lakers.
With Lakers? Okay.
And so
That mean they would-
that's not gonna happen.
Did that mean they would if the playoffs were today they would play Memphis?
Yeah. Yeah. So because I gotta get more into basketball again, and I'm still into football. You got the college football playoff. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But if the Suns are sellers, to be honest with you, I'd sell Devin Booker. I would trade Devin Booker
You have
to a
to,
contender
you have to get
and
something.
get a lot of players. You would.
You have to get something good in return.
You see, that Kevin Durant trade, that was Kevin Durant and 2 other players for like 6 players.
Yeah.
And 2 first-round draft picks. So,
And not all those things, they would probably waive a few of those players too, because you know how
Right,
they waive
exactly.
players, and then those players go to another team.
but really, and I know the Suns will most likely will never trade Devin Booker unless he really, really wants out. He hasn't really vocalized that.
No, he hasn't.
But-
he has not.
If I'm the Suns, that's a younger player in his prime. Only has been to the finals once. I think you trade Devin Booker if you want more back, especially first round picks. Yeah, you'll get all the first round picks from a team for Devin Booker. Kevin Durant, he's got maybe 3 more seasons left in him.
Yeah, he got 3 more in him.
So
Hey, question: does Durant need to get a chip on his arm to
that ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. The thing is, he went to the Suns and kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
Suns didn't do much. They haven't, they haven't been a contender. If he was on a team with a contender, even in Brooklyn, it was a contender for a second.
Injuries. That was
Right.
injuries. Yeah.
It was a contender for a
I
second.
tell people if Harden was healthy and if Kyrie was healthy, then
Yeah.
they might have messed around with a chip
What,
that year.
an inch away from winning that,
Yes,
that
totally.
series?
Oh my goodness!
Right.
Then the whole thing people talk about him would have been different because he would have won it without Golden State. Won without being on Golden State. So.
Right. Yeah, that ship has sailed. I don't know how people still talk about that because, like I said, he went to the Suns and yeah, it hasn't been the same. It's been quiet. The team has been quiet.
Yeah.
They haven't been winning. And now, how I see it now, if you would trade someone, me personally, I'd trade Devin Booker
Mm-hmm.
and find a way to restructure Kevin Durant's contract or something after the season, because you would get more back with Devin Booker. But Kevin Durant, I see why these trade
Mm-hmm.
talks are coming up. The thing is also when it comes to the Jimmy Butler situation, you hit the nail on the head. There is something with Jimmy Butler and his image or whatever you want to say. Is it him? Yeah, it looks like it is. At this point, you're going up against one of the greatest basketball minds of all time on your boss, Pat Riley. And Pat Riley's correct. You got to win first before you talk like that. What are you doing? So him getting suspended and all that, he's a real old style man, old style coach, old style executive. Yeah, you're not gonna win that.
No, you're not.
So yeah,
Yeah, I'm winning that battle.
and that may be the reason why he doesn't get traded.
Mm.
They may just keep him like, no, we're not gonna give you any wishes. Maybe at the end of the season, but you never know. Now moving on to you have Ohio State University versus Notre Dame in the college football championship. First ever 12-team playoff. A lot of mixed reactions with the playoffs. But the two hottest teams are in the championship.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm not an Ohio State fan at all, but I think Ohio State could win this game.
Oh no, Ohio State got it. We said that last week. We said we did our picks and everything. We said no matter what Ohio, because we wasn't sure with Penn State and Notre Dame and everything, and we saw how that game went. Tell you quarterback play, quarterback play,
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So Ryan Day is going to get his chip, and his job is going to be secure for the next few years. Cause I get it. He didn't beat Michigan, but when you can hang that banner up, you got that ring, and you can hang that banner up. Yeah, he'll be fine. I mean, man, the only reason why Jim Tressel left was because of the NCAA allegations and everything. So and he probably would have still been here the day that all that stuff didn't happen. But and I'm saying that because he won a chip. So championships matter.
And Ohio State is an 8-point favorite.
Yeah.
But Notre Dame, they did something we did not expect. I didn't expect Notre Dame to get this far. So shout out to them.
Oh, shout out to the Irish.
It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a real good game.
Yeah. I'm not hating on them. Like I kept saying, I kept reiterating last week and the week before. That Penn State Notre Dame game could go either way. Yeah, I knew it was going to go either way. It was some things in that Penn State did that made me scratch my head, but I was like, okay, whatever. So we'll see, man. The Fighting Irish. We haven't seen them do stuff like this in years since the Lou Holtz days.
Yeah, they went to a championship with it was like 2008. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 2007, 2008. Last time with
Did they get blown
with
out?
that coach that's with LSU.
Did they get blown out in that game?
I think so. Yeah, by Alabama.
Yeah, I believe I remember that. You talking about who was their coach? It wasn't Kelly, was it?
Yeah, Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly.
I think it was the first or second season, and he got them there. Yep. But one last thing is we did get duped. I posted on Instagram is the Crawford Canelo in September, and oh man, I was like, oh, it's going on, it's happening. And I looked at it and I didn't check no research, I didn't look at no websites. I was like, oh, it's happening. Oh, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, you was just hyped. Oh man,
I really was.
I had to double check. I went on ESPN, but like I ain't seen nothing on ESPN. I tell you, ESPN, Bleacher Report, Yahoo. like you said before, man.
Yeah.
Like those three. And I went to ESPN and I was like, oh, it's not there. So I got duped for a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, you know. But I got duped because I wanted it. I want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see it. I mean, in this group that I be in, this group, this video text group I be in, cats were saying, no, I got Bud.
Yeah.
I told him, I like, you know what, man? I think Canelo could pull it out. I think Canelo could do it, man. I was like, Canelo not Errol Spence, man.
Yeah, that's true.
He not Sean Porter, man. Like, I think, but now I wouldn't be surprised if Bud put it on at all. I'm not gonna put money on. I'm not gonna bet against Bud.
No, I would not.
Yeah, I mean, but we'll see. That's the fight everybody want to see.
Yeah, and one thing that was true in boxing is that Tyson Fury once again announced his retirement. I mean, he retired, like 6-7 years ago, and then came back.
He came back.
So he's finally retiring.
But that retirement years ago, that was more about his health, mental health, and substance abuse. Now I believe now he's just like, okay, I did everything I wanted to do in the sport. I don't think, and I believe he's up there in years too. So he's like,
he couldn't beat Usyk, you know, he lost. So this is the end of the road for him. I'll put him in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he's gonna go Hall of Fame.
You know, so you know, shout out to him.
Yeah.
To Tyson Fury. And one last thing, just seen on news, Conor McGregor is being sued by a woman who accused him of sexual assault. She actually did, in that time, this is back when the Denver Nuggets played the Miami Heat.
Yeah, that's a while ago.
And, the 2023 NBA Finals. This was after one of the games in Miami. She did file the police report, and the district attorney's office failed to press charges against McGregor. So since that happened, her attorney has filed a lawsuit to seek justice, and said, quote, my client has thought long and hard about the decision to pursue the civil case and is fearful the event may affect her job on Wall Street. Nonetheless, her main goal is to filing this to raise awareness and encourage others to report sexual assault. She's a 46-year-old woman who, a 49-year-old woman who is employed as a senior Wall Street vice president at a high-profile financial institution. So that could come out and affect her career, but at the same time, hey, if all this is true, he deserved jail time.
Yeah, it's all true.
And he most likely didn't get charged because of his celebrity.
And a lot of people are gonna be getting hit with this because she's saying that she filed it, but then nobody followed up on it. I mean, it's pretty bad.
Press charges, yeah.
This is bad.
And I would say possibly could, if the evidence come out, he probably could sue the Dade County.
Yeah, this is bad. This is bad. So Dade County need to get in front of it. Whoever was in charge of that paperwork and everything, they need to suspend them or whatever. They need to get in front of it, whoa,
exactly,
and figure it out, because this is going to get a whole lot worse before it get better.
That's true.
Please believe that.
Yeah. And we can go to our next hour. Keep it locked right here. Keep 1 Million Show, 90.7 FM, KRDP. Keep it locked.
Yes, sir.